I have the opportunity to step on the campus of Princeton University, the youngest of 7. Mom went to high school. And I'm looking up and I'm in Princeton, New Jersey, and I have so much passion inside. There's so much pride in me, and the way in which I'm walking on campus is not just like everyone else, right? There's something that's pulling inside of me because I know how many people have sacrificed for me to be in that situation. And the beautiful thing about being in a situation where people have sacrificed for you is that you have the power of so many people, right? I stand here as one person, but I come as 10,000. I stand as one, but 10,000 support me. Because the way in which we operate, many of us operate in the practical, what we're doing. Every day we do what we're doing. I know that my job from 9 to 5 is to do this. Right? Then several of us maybe take that next step. How we do it. Do we do it with passion? Do we do it with conviction? But there's this next step that's amazing. Why are you doing what you're doing? Who's your why? Who are the people in your life right now? Who are the people in your life who you can see their face and you say, you know what? Because of you, I will do more, be more, and become more. Because of you, I will do more, be more, and become more. Every time I get the opportunity to tell my story, I start with my mom. She is me. Her heart is my heart. Everything that I do, I know the sacrifice. I know the sacrifice. And the most amazing part is I believe that each and every one of us can bring that passion to what we do if we remember who our why is. If we identify it so clearly on a day-to-day basis of why are we getting up at 6 a.m. again? Why are we doing this, right? And there are certain people in our lives that allow us to continue on, that allow us to push forth. There's a guy by the name of Howard Thurman, and he was the mentor to Martin Luther King and Mahatma Gandhi. He was a deeply spiritual and reflective man. And the way in which he wrote and the way in which he spoke, everything that I read from him, it's just like powerful. But this one quote is fitting. Don't ask what the world needs. Ask yourself what makes you come alive. Because what the world needs is people who have come alive. Don't ask what the world needs. If you saw the most amazing part of when each and every individual was sharing their idea, can you feel how much emotion and passion they had in their idea? Right? Gripping the mic like just ready to, because this was an idea. When you have a great idea, it comes from somewhere deep. Right? It allows you, every single one, when I'm listening and you guys are listening to these stories, there's a passion behind it. There's a helping a community behind it. There's not only a what's your why, but who's your why behind it. There's a vision. So the quote, again, is do not ask what the world needs. Ask yourself what makes you come alive. Because what the world needs is people who have come alive. There were so many times I didn't think I was going to graduate. I'll be 100% honest with you. There were so many times where it was so difficult. And I remember in 2013, and this is kind of my story, the reason where that TED Talk came from, the reason why I wrote How to Network in College for Students. And I can remember graduating, imagine, from the #1 academic institution in the country, unemployed, and going, what? And spending the next 6 to 9 months thinking, what on earth is going on in the world? I thought I did everything right. But it's a beautiful thing. How many of you guys know that through our biggest failures, sometimes the most amazing opportunities will sprout right before us? How many of you guys know that? Right? And amazingly, that failure for me made me change my questioning. And I want you guys to think about this clearly here. It made me change my questioning. I returned to Princeton University, worked just like you in administration in the athletic department. And I'm looking around and I'm remembering how much pain and how much confusion I had. And I remember asking the question, why didn't I get a job when I graduated? Why was it so difficult for me? And there was a turn when I asked a new question and things started to change. Instead of saying, why doesn't Princeton do this for me? I asked, what can I do for Princeton? Right? In the midst of not knowing what's happening, instead of asking, why can't Princeton do this for me? I asked the question, what can I do in my shoes, from my perspective, in my stance, to contribute to this amazing community? How can I make this great community even better? And it hit me, and I said, you know what? There might be other student athletes just like me who don't understand the concept. So I created a program. The program was called Profound Ivy. It was a mentoring program. And I said, can I get some of the student athletes together and we'll come in and we'll talk about networking and professional development and academic efficiency? And the athletic department looked at me and they said, oh, that's awesome. We won't pay you for it, but this is great. Go ahead. And so that's what I did. 9 to 5, you work, and then 6 to 9 is doing my own thing of how I can contribute back. And it was interesting because the group grew, right? It was 8 students, and then it was 12 students, and then it was 25 students, and then it was 40 students, and then it was 70 students. And then I get an email from the university president and says, did you create the Profound Ivy mentoring program? Yes, it's me. It's like, well, I would like to come support it and financially support it as well. Is that okay? You guys can clap for that. There's a point here. I want to drill this in. And I remember at that moment, and I thought to myself, I was just one guy out of a 130 person department with one idea that came from me changing my question from being a selfish act to a selfless act. From what can this community give me to what can I contribute to this community? I'll say that one more time. I changed the question in my head from what can this community give me to what can I contribute to this community? And I learned something amazing, and I hope that you can take this nugget right here, is that when you switch the question in your mind from what can I get from this community to what can I uniquely give, the doors open up. Opportunities come flooding through. It's an amazing mindset perspective. It's amazing change. Something that I learned at the age of 24, and I will never forget to this day. Every community that I'm a part of, any door that I walk in, my first question is 5149. What can I give to this situation? If you guys see, I'm walking around and I have this shirt and 2 words are plastered on my chest, and it says, one says inform and the other says inspire. And they're 2 words that I absolutely live by. Inform. Right? Inform means the information that's coming to you from the outside, right? How do we take information from the outside to make us better? Second word is inspire. Everybody say inspire. So I took a little bit of Latin. So inspire, inspirare, right? So spirare is the spirit. So the spirit within. So information comes from without, inspiration comes from within. And when you put the two together, you can do some amazing things.